What more could you ask for? The delicate, delicious complexity of a Baroque recorder concerto amidst the splendid Georgian simplicity of the most elegant city in England, Bath. And while they're a little less elegant, Bath's buskers are pretty splendid too. Yes, that's exactly what you think it is. And no, he isn't an out-of-work carpenter. Appropriate tune though, because I'm here to walk the Bath Skyline Walk. Now, hard as it might be to drag yourself out of one of the most civilised city centres you'll ever find, the National Trust have put together a leaflet to encourage visitors to Bath to do precisely that. A skyline walk, which takes you on a 6-mile stroll, and this is the clever bit, around Bath's skyline. You see, one of the especial beauties of this city is that it lies surrounded by hills, green and pleasant, thickly wooded hills that frame and encircle the city and inspire you to think happy thoughts as you wander around, in much the same way as multi-storey car parks don't. I might be wrong, but I strongly suspect that the National Trust is on a bit of a consciousness-raising exercise here, knowing how we have a disturbing habit of taking this sort of thing for granted and accidentally building another desperately needed petrol station service area all over it. I think they thought what a terribly good idea it'd be to remind us what a priceless treasure we have in such an unusually unspoilt landscape. In this case, literally on our doorstep. One of the routes up onto those hills is through the breathtakingly beautiful grounds of Prior Park College. It's a Roman Catholic boarding school, and I reckon the boys and girls here must be able to lay claim to having the most spectacular playground in the country. What my school could offer was an uninterrupted view of the sun silhouetting the National Gyro Centre in Bootle. But this lot, they get to see it gilding the already palely golden stone of Georgian Bath from the incomparable splendour of a capability brown landscape. Can't be many schools that have all that as an extracurricular activity. Good luck to you. I'm only jealous. Wow, no wonder they made this place a World Heritage Site. An architectural jewel amidst all the dross of modern mediocrity that we're surrounded by these days. But of course, like any jewel, like any precious stone, it needs a beautiful setting. That's why the skyline is so important to Bath. All that greenery is an integral part of what makes the city so beautiful, so elegant, stunning. I, for one, wouldn't argue with the people who say that all this constitutes the golden age of English architecture. Now, I have to confess I've an ulterior motive for doing this walk, other than pontificating about urban planning blight, that is. I seize this unlooked-for opportunity as an excuse to visit that most curious of places, a museum devoted to displaying various aspects of transatlantic culture, the American Museum in England. And what aspect of that culture will I be immersing myself in when I get there? Will I be moved to silence by the simple quietude of the excellent Shaker exhibition? Nope. Seen all that on previous visits. No, curiously enough, I'll be heading straight for the tea terrace to buy myself a little pig's portion of American cookies, the real thing, and something no real red-blooded man should be without, a tussie-mussy. And here's something else no real man should neglect to equip himself with. Our recently introduced friend Ralph Allen decided he wanted to be able to see a castle from his house down in Bath, so he built the sham castle. Local legend also says he was equally keen to build it in order to provide work for stonemasons to tide him over a bad patch. And that's very likely, because he was, as they say at home, a rare and lovely man. Whatever the truth of the legend, his imaginative and playful building has remained an eye-catcher to this day. Yeah, Reginald. There's some fat baldy bloke stealing our blackberries. Say what you like, there is nothing to match the taste of fresh blackberries on a late autumn afternoon. Go away, this is my bush. Well, it's no good you apologising now. We were saving them for our supper. There's a plentiful supply of distinct but discreet signposting, so you're hard put to it to get lost. If you do, it's impossible to get badly lost, so you just have to be philosophical and enjoy the view while you find your way back down. Or literally follow your nose, because I swear you can smell the tussie-mussies and the cookies a mile off. I've always called these nosegays. What do you have a different name for them, don't you?
Yes, tussie-mussies. Comes from an old word, tight-tussed, which is Latin, and then it got to tusmos and eventually to tussie-mussy. And they were carried by, well, people of quality, really, carried them when they went into the streets because of all the open drains and all that sort of thing.
Is that right?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Thanks very much. See you again. Bye-bye. Yes, I know it requires a giant leap of imagination to describe me as a person of quality, but I've done the walk. I'm entitled to the rewards. So, speaking of rewards and incentives, lead me to the cookies. Lloyd Grossman, eat your heart out. Do you know, there is something immensely satisfying about country walks where the view spends its whole time spread out below you. I've probably got some sort of power thing if I stop to think about it, but who the hell wants to be bothered with that sort of thing on a nice sunny autumn afternoon when you can sit here surrounded by the astonishingly sweet scent of tussie-mussies and with the glorious golden prospect opening up in front of you of being able to devour real American cookies? Or should that be genuine American cookies? Charles I, you stand accused of high treason against the people of England. Guilty as charged, my lord.